was an MCPS moment.
You guys obviously move with purpose.
For the second year in a row, more than 20 administrative leaders from MCPS spent an entire school day shadowing students.
You know, it's something that I asked all the senior staff to do last year at high schools, and this year we're doing it at middle schools, just to experience what it's like for our kids. We're always talking about kids, we're always talking about teachers, but we don't really see what they do every day, so it's just an opportunity to kind of remember what it was like to be in school and also get to know our kids and what they actually experience on a day-to-day basis.
How much time does it
30 minutes.
Dr. Starr shadowed Wally, a 6th grader at Kingsview Middle School.
I think it'd be good for him to know how the students, like what the students go through every day and their classes and stuff like that.
It just reminds me how hard it is on kids. They have to switch their thinking every 45, 46 minutes or so. They have to go from English to social studies to math to health to computers, and you got to keep adjusting and readjusting and figure out how to get there.
And to see
Kimberly Statham, Deputy Superintendent of Teaching, Learning, and Programs, also participated in the Shadow Day.
It's important for the work that I do to understand the day in the life of a student. So I'm delighted to be here today shadowing Brandon.
Dr. Statham followed Brandon through his schedule of courses, including his men's choral class.
The men's chorus was amazing. They sound like professionals.
And the walls come tumbling down.
Beth Chavino Narvez, Deputy Superintendent of School Support and Improvement, shadowed Santiago, an 8th grader at Lakelands Park Middle School.
It's been a lot of fun, but it's challenging too. I mean, it's been a while since I was in middle school, and going from period to period, there is so much change, there's so much to learn, so much content. Kids are asked to analyze a lot. In every single class so far, they've had to look at text and really think about what it means and do some writing.
I'm shadowing Caitlin Sims, who is a 7th grader at Rosa Parks Middle School. From a district level, we think and talk about what's the most appropriate way that instruction should occur. So what better way to know if that is happening than being here right in the flow and in the midst of their instruction and their learning, to see how they ebb and flow, how they interact. And so it's just a valuable opportunity for us to come out and sit amongst our students.
This is what people use when they're making magazines. I took Dr. Smith to digital art with Mr. Constantino as my teacher. I told her about how the Photoshop app works and what we're doing, how we're making a magazine.
The students were highly engaged in the settings that I observed in this morning and participated in, whereas they were not seated in rows. There was open dialogue between the teacher and the student and amongst the peers. There was a lot of encouragement to have that dialogue and to think, pair, share.
Associate Superintendent Christopher Guerin spent his shadowing day at Eastern Middle School.
So having a chance to work with a student like Mariko today, to be able to shadow her, I get to see from her perspective what it's like to go to a Montgomery County public school.
Being shadowed throughout the day, I think it's a cool opportunity because I get to express my feelings about certain classes.
You can go from a class that's hands-on, team-oriented, where they're doing a project, it's really creative, and there's this amazing energy that the students have. When we go to a more sort of teacher-centered classroom, you can kind of feel, hear, and see that energy dissipate a bit. I think that's something we're going to have to explore in all of our schools. How can we tap into that energy and maximize it during the day for their learning?
Participants discussed some possible next steps and the overall value of shadowing students.
We can synthesize all of the visits from all of the executive staff and say, this is great, this is happening here, what are some learnings that we can share? What teacher professional development might need to occur as a result of those learnings. So I think that's the takeaway that I can share back and all of the associates can share together collectively.
And it helps us to be better leaders with our principals, to support them, and to have a better idea of what's going on with the teaching and learning inside of the classroom.
This has been an MCPS moment.